Hello everyone, what's up mananap? Welcome back to Code Conyo. So last time we joined two tables. Now this time, what if we're going to join three or more different tables? So let's describe the our tables. First is we have the pet, okay, and then we have here DSC, TBL, DASC, sorry, TBL. Of course, we already did it for gender. So this time, let's have for status. Okay, status muna tayo. And yeah, so as you can see, in your status, you have your status ID and status ID primary key and foreign key for your TBL pet. So let's say if we are going to join this status ID thing and the table pet, so displaying the status name. So obviously, if you're going to display the tables from TBL pet, I'm just going to limit it by like 5 or 10. So I have here with in my status we have 4 1 1 1 1 2 2. So I don't know what's that 4 1 and 2 2. So the only way to find out is we are going to show it to the user. So TBL status. So there, it says here that 1 is active, 2 is inactive, 3 is lost, and 4 is borrowed. So this time we're going to join two tables for now, and then after that we are going to also join gender table. So to do that, we are going to to have here P that, let's say, pet ID, okay, and then P that pet, let's say, name, and then P that pet uh, status, P that pet age, okay, and then let's have here S that, okay, so what are we going to join here is the status, and we are going to display status name, okay, from TBL underscore pet P, okay, and then we're going to join that to TBL status S, okay, and then on. So let's say P dot um, status ID, because we have the status ID, I guess, equals to S dot status ID. So if we are going to run this one, we have here our the status of our pets: active, active, inactive, and borrowed. Now, did you know that aside from using on, you can actually instead of like for an instance, if this is the important thing about if you're going to relate primary key and foreign key, they must have the same value, but not all the case, no? I mean, not all the time. But if ever, if possible lang, if you're going to create relationship between primary key and foreign key, meaning status ID to your TBL pet, make sure you follow the same name. Kasi if that is the case, you can actually directly call or use join TBL status using, okay, the using status ID. So if that is the case, then you can just invoke this SQL statement right away. So actually, yan, no? Using status ID. So because we have different, we have the same status. Let's look into our table. So you have status ID and then status ID, because the primary key status ID has relationship to our TBL pet, which is foreign key, and they have the same field name. Okay? And that is not the case. We cannot do na sa gender. Example, for gender, asa tong gender na to kanina, we have from TBL pet, ah, Okay, and that is something na dili natin mabuhat sa gender. Let's say on TBL gender G using gender ID. So if we are going to run this one, so this time, as you can see, even magbutang pa ta G that gender ID. So this will not work because if you're going to describe our TBL gender and TBL pet, notice that the gender ID primary key, pag abot sa foreign key sa TBL pet, ang pangalan niya is pet gender. So that is why naming convention really is really important, no? Especially if you want, I mean, if you want to make your life easier, okay? So that is the case sa status, no? So that is the case in the status. So using function is since nag-match siya sa status ID and both the same na status ID atong gigamit, so in joining them, you can just use using instead of maputa on. Okay? And of course, you can use where here, where status name so, is equal to, let's say, borrow. Okay? So, there. Okay? Now, what if we're going to combine or join two tables, two or three tables? So, this time, combine na to si gender at the same time. Uh, si, si status, no? With nana gender, na male, female, and then with status na. So, to do that, we just simply, okay, let's erase this one. Okay, and then all right, so let's have here status name and then let's have here G that gender, what's the gender title ba yun? Gender title, okay? So you have gender title, let's check. Gender title, see? So I mean there, ayan tama, gender title. And then from TBL pet P, okay? So it's either you use unahon mo si gender or unahon mo status, depende sa imo ha. So let's say join TBL gender G, okay? On say let's say P dot pet gender equals G dot gender ID. And then you are going to also join PBL status S, okay? Using, so this time since pareha ang column name nila sa primary key and foreign key, you can just use status directly, status ID here. So this time, it is going to show you with the gender title and status name. So pwede nimo na siya na where ka, where status title is equal to, let's say, inactive and gender title is equal to male. So let's check kung naabay inactive at the same time iyang title is male. Oh, what happened? So status, what is the status? Status name pala. Bakit titles to? Status name. So gituyo na ako to para na ay mali usahay. Okay. Sa una lang. So, oh, empty set daw. What happened? So, status where status name is meaning wala daw male na inactive. Wala ba? Wala jud ay. So, i-change na nato into female. Okay? Female. So, there. Natay female na inactive and both are actually females. So, another one is if you guys have like difficulty in for an instance, you want to display all the fields. So P dot asterisk and then G dot gender title, okay, and then S dot status title. Murag mali ko sa ano, dapat dili title, dapat name. Wait lang. So this is gender, tama ako? gender title, and then status name. And status name, join TBL, okay, TBL pet P, okay, join TBL pet P on, so pwede tayo magbutang sa baba, okay, on TBL gender G, okay, oops, wait, join TB, wait, status, mali, wait for a while. Okay. Usab, wait lang. So, select join TBL pet P, ay from TBL pet P, okay, join TBL gender G, okay, G on, so P dot pet gender, oops, spelling, pet gender equals G dot gender ID, okay, and then join TBL status S using, so the good thing about using is yun, no? Status I underscore ID. So there, it seems like na ano lang ang plus star or ang placement sa imo sa display. It's because dili siya mag-fit sa isa ka parang ang column or ang width niya. So 103 Dayan. But the problem with this one is notice that ang pet gender niya is mag-display ang 1, ang iyahang status ID mag-display ang 1, though na ay display male, active, 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 so on and so forth. So, okay, so that is if you're going to use to display all the entire columns. And the problem lang with this one is you cannot exclude a certain value or a certain column on your table. So might as well pinaka best yung button is you'll have to select the fields that you would like to or columns that you would like to project to your screen when upon joining the tables. So I guess we call it a day. Thank you guys for watching this video and have a great day. Bye bye.